Hi guys, it's Belle here. Happy 5th of December. Let's start this video off by looking at this cute little advent that I have and opening door number 5, which is right here in the Christmas tree. And let's have a look. Oh, I think it's a little angel. Let's hold that up so you can see. Let me have a quick look. Yes, it's 2 little angels. How cute is that? Day 5. Sorry if there's some shadow. It is dark here. Lighting has to be used. So we've got some shadows. So I'm going to do day 2 on the 5th of the December Ember prompt challenge. And it's salvaged birds. Again, I may or may not do all of them. I don't know, I probably won't. Don't forget to put in this hashtag if you want to follow it. And it was created by 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel. There's little Effie. I'm just going to do ones that I feel inspired to do. So I have this large. So it's salvaged birds, and again, straight away I thought of something. So I, a couple of months back when I was in a charity shop, came across this pack of Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Bird Crazy, there's the number to it, pack. It was so cheap, guys. Cheap. Pun not, you know, that pun was not intentional. Cheap, cheap. I think it was like £1.50, which is only a couple of dollars, I think. Anyway, they had this little one in the packet, and it made me think of a robin. Now, not all of December Ember prompts, they're not really Christmassy, but this might work for me. So I have one of my large tea-dyed index cards. This is it's 7.5 inches roughly by 5 inches roughly. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I want to keep these fun lines here, so I'm just going to trim this bit off a little bit because I don't want it as big as it is. I think that should be big enough. So I've roughly trimmed it to, very roughly, 7.25 by 4.5. So that should be big enough. So when I think of salvaged, obviously it sort of comes from the term for boats when boats would crash and they had all the treasures and things. But salvaged also means to save something from destruction or from the bin, or like to save something from being destroyed or thrown away. So the fact that this had been given to a charity shop because it wasn't wanted anymore, and I obviously salvaged it, took it, protected it, brought it home so that it could be used. So that's what I'm thinking, and it's got birds. And I also have this scrap. You can see it's kind of reddish here and brown. I just used some inks on it, and I'm going to try and do it in a way that I get red on the belly, kind of turning this into a robin, because doesn't it look a bit like a robin? So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to attempt, I say attempt because I don't know how well this will work. I've got my Versamark. Ignore the mess on top. It's because I use the lid to press things with. I think I'm going to try and emboss this bird image. I really hope it is going to pick up. Give it good embossing. Stick down. Yeah. And I've got some black embossing powder. I've had it for years. It's not even fully black anymore. It's like got sparkles and things in it now, but it is by, it's just plain. Don't even know the company it's by, but that's what it looks like. There's the number. And I'm going to try and emboss this bird by eye. Okay, it fell there, so that's where it's going to go. Its red belly might be more up near its beak. That's okay. I don't mind if it is. And then let's get some embossing powder on here. And let's hope this works. I can see the bird on there, but I don't know, like, if I pressed long enough for all of it. Let's get the embossing powder. Just cover, because cover. And then shake this out. obviously I could have just used... Oh my gosh, it's come out really well. Now, I'm not saying its red belly is really that red, but it's a little red and yellow. And I really like it. I think it looks super cute. I don't know how I'm going to cut it out. That's going to be fun. So I am going to go and emboss that. And I will be back. Okay guys, so I've embossed him, and as you can see I've also cut him out. I cut off some of his other little squirrely bits on his head because they were just too much to cut around. But he is cute, look at him. So he has got a slight red belly, so it does work. I like it, it looks like a robin. So what I also want to do though is, because he hasn't got white in his eyes, and I actually don't have white paint, so I'm going to try and use... Try and look at where it is. It's just a white gel pen, and I'm going to try and make his eyes a bit whiter. Yeah, so not all of them will be Christmassy. Yesterday's one wasn't Christmassy, but when I thought of these birds and Salvaged, and then I looked at the scraps that I had and the birds themselves, this just spoke to me, which is how it happens sometimes, doesn't it? Like a piece of your scrap or one of your stamps, and you'll suddenly go, oh, but that means yes, and I may actually use this in my December daily. I did check, and it's long enough to fit into my December daily should I want to. So I've just lightened his eyes a little bit. I'll let that dry. We might need to do a few coats of that. Okay, so on here, I have some scraps. And I wanted to, again, use a tea bag to kind of give a bit of texture. I used a tea bag on yesterday's one as well. But I kind of wanted to use one almost along here, just to give a little bit of... I want it to look like our robin is sitting on a branch. And I thought that would look nice there. And then I did want to use the corrugated card yesterday, but we didn't get round to it. So I was going to use that. And I was going to use some more of this wallpaper because I have it in the scraps. I used them in yesterday's project. And I thought that would look quite nice, like so. Although I'm going to ink these. And then I have this bit of fabric that I've had forever. And again, it was from a skirt that I picked up secondhand, so salvaged. And I want it to almost look like moss on the tree. But before we do that, I want to change the colour of this. And I have oxide pine needles, which I thought, you know, oh, excuse me. So I'm just putting it on some acrylic, adding a smidge of water to really get it moving and moving. And then I'm just going to dab this in places. And then I might add some brown on there too. Okay, so I will use up the rest of that. I'm going to heat this slightly and distress it a little bit. Okay guys, so I added the pine needles, and then I just went over it a little bit with some bundled sage just to lighten it up in some areas. The oxide, put it the right way round, Belle. And then I'm going to go over it with a tiny bit of walnut stain just to give it some definition in areas. Yeah, I want it to kind of look like a branch, and I also want to pop a colour on here. Yeah, so that's what I want. Okay, I like it. So let's get this stuck down. I've got my Mod Podge for this. I need to find my brush. Where did my brush go to? Hold on a minute, guys. Seriously, where's my Mod Podge brush? I got everything to one side, and then it seems to have disappeared. Okay, I'll just use another one. This one's very small though, that's the problem. So it's going to take longer, but I'm going to put this tea bag on with some Mod Podge. I need to fix, oh, I've put it in too far. That's okay. Oh, I tell you guys, I don't know if it's the Christmas spirit or what, like, but I just feel a little bit giddy today. Yeah, I don't know, but that's okay. Yeah, I thought this might work actually in my December daily. I often go on woodland walks, and there's several things we always look for at this time of year. Firstly, squirrels. My other half is slightly obsessed with squirrels. He gets very excited when he sees them, and we try and sort of say, you know, we do a little competition of how many we think we're going to see each time we go to the woods. And then the other thing we always look for at this time of year, although they're out other times of year too, are robins. So I thought this was quite cute, the idea of doing a little card with a robin on it. Let's just glue that down. I'm going to put some Distress Oxide Walnut Stain along this wallpaper as well. So I am sorry for the shadows, guys. I know, but it's this time of year. Okay, let's grab this. And I might put some thread behind it all too. So I want to stick this down. I do have some leaves I may want to stick on too, on things. And then we have this. I'm literally just going to put a bit down the middle because, as I said, I want to stick other things to it. So I kind of want to just know that I have the freedom to add bits should I want. And there's our little robin. That's not the sound a robin makes. I know. You don't need to contact me and say, that's not the sound a robin makes, Belle. Yep, I am well aware of that. That is an owl. But there we go. And that's what I did. Okay, so we've got, like, I've got some of these ticketing things. I didn't know if I wanted to put some behind him. I don't want to do too much, if I'm honest. I've got this Tim Holtz label, and I liked it because it had the red on it as well, which I thought works well with the robin. And that might go there very well. And it sort of has the roundness of the bird itself. And then we have some leaves. Again, these were cut out and used. I used some of them yesterday in my piece. So I just kind of want to add a few. May need to cut that down. And just add them. Oh, you're moving because you weren't stuck fully. I think I'm going to stitch through that too, actually. Add some leaves, see what I like. On here, use this one, chop it. Like so, and then our little bird would sit kind of like so. That's a wide one coming down the bottom. Let's put that in. Then do I want one like going along the bottom here? Let's see what I think of that. And that one's embossed from yesterday. I think I quite like that. We have got this other piece as well. Let's have a look. To use if I wanted to. Let's pull that out a little bit. Could be a bit like that. I don't think we actually need that. What about one of the tickets? Okay, so I quite like that. So now I'm going to try my best to stick all this down in place, and then I will stitch, and then we'll finish off this side because, you know, we need some of that side, don't we? So yeah, let's do that. Stick all this together. And I also like the fact that the tea bag on here is also salvaged, because it was salvaged from the bin and turned into something we can craft with. So all the bits on here, really, if you think about like scraps that we use in our crafting, like the corrugated was from a package that had arrived. And do I want this in front of the green? I think I do. And then the tea bag is salvaged, definitely from the bin and used. These little stamps were salvaged. Like, I'm sure other people have come up with some amazing ideas. I'm always amazed at the ideas that people come up with. Like, so many creative people, aren't there? But this is what I wanted to do, and I did want to do, like I said, I might just try and ink around that just to give it a little definition. Again, this was cut out from a piece of scrap paper that had inks, and like I must have done some stamping on it or something, because there's all these black lines on it. So yeah, this is just what came to my mind, and as I said, I should be able to use it in my December daily journal, or just in a different project, but that's what I'm thinking, December daily journal. I want that there. And we have the one underneath. Do I want like some of this underneath too? I don't think I do. Maybe, and it does use it, so it's cut off, might as well use it, hey. Yeah. So I hope you're enjoying everyone's December dailies at the moment so far. Let's move that. I hope you're enjoying watching them all and catching up. I still have quite a few to catch up with, because, you know, it's this time of year, and it's, do you know what? I feel like I want this a bit rough around the edges. I didn't like how perfect it was. So there is a tools that you can get to do that, but I've got my scissors, and I'd rather be spending that money on something else craft-wise when I've got this tool that does it fine for now. Although saying that, watch sometime in the future I brought it, because obviously that's what we do. Do I want that down there too? No. So I'm going to put that in there like that. Perfecto. And our little robin's going to kind of sit like that, away from everything. Like down on the branch. Oh, it's so cute. It really is so cute. And then I was wondering, we've got some of this like Tim Holtz ruler. Do I want some of that? I also picked up this. This is vintage like fabric ruler that you can barely see the numbers on. It's great. I was wondering about using a piece of that on it, and I have some washi. I don't know, because I don't know what I'm going to do here. Maybe I'll pick up some of this, just like in places, and maybe spray it a little bit to try and move it a little bit more. So I'm spraying off camera because I didn't have my mat down. Let's do that. Let's dry it a little bit and then add some more. Okay guys, so you can see I have stitched all along here, and I've put this bit on that looks like moss. I've used a zigzag stitch, and I've used brown thread because, you know, I think that works best. So that's that, and we need to put this little robin on. I was wondering about adding a bit of red and brown thread behind, because I've got these really cheap ones that I'm not going to use for anything. So I'm just going to pull this off and see if that'll work. Like, stop getting caught. See if that gives a little bit of texture. And I wanted the red one again to pick up the red in the robin's breast and in the it's like a really deep maroon, so it's not like the brightest red you've ever seen, but it might just pick up behind the bird a little bit, maybe. Do I want that down there? Oh, I kind of like it, yeah. So a bit of red and brown. It almost looks like the nest that the bird is in. Do I want that further down in there? Let me have a look. Do I want it coming over a little bit? I don't think I want it coming over at all. But yeah, it kind of looks like the bird's nest. Let's try and see if I can get it like the bird's nest. And the robin sitting in it. Let's have a look. And yeah, that kind of looks like the bird's nest, doesn't it? Okay, let's go for that. Completely changed my mind a little bit, but that's woo! I just threw my glue across my table because obviously, why wouldn't I? What on earth? I think it's the Christmas elves. That's what I think. They're just being a tad naughty. That's what I think. That's what I'm going to say anyway. Shall we just quickly, I haven't inked around the edges, so it just looks white. Okay, let's get this stuck down. Gonna have to press this. Okay, let's get the little robin's feet inside its little nest. Alright, stick down. Why won't you flatten under there? And then let's stick this robin down. And I think what I might do, just to make sure everything's stuck in place, that's what it looks like. What I might actually do is stitch another zigzag across there. But before we do that, so I was trying to work out what to put here. Firstly, we're going to ink while we're thinking. But I was trying to work out what we want to put here, because we've got a lot over here. And I don't want to put too much more there. I might just do a little bit of stamping. And then I also thought we can put a label on it. So I have this label, because then I can write a date or whatever I want, which I like. But do I want like another leaf underneath the label? I feel like that's too much. What about if I got a different... Got some of this that I used yesterday. No, that's too much too. I might just put the label, and then I mean, we do have another piece of tea bag that theoretically, I wonder what it would look like with another little bit of tea bag there, picking up. Let's have a look at what we think of that. Because the only way to really tell is if you actually put it on there. Or do I just want it like that? Do you know what? I just like it like that. Okay, so I do want to do a bit of stamping, but I want to do it in... So I've got my VersaFine vintage sepia, and I've just got this random text stamp, and I'm going to like lightly kind of roll it on there, so you're not seeing all the text, you're just seeing parts of it. Again, it just gives it some texture. Some of that still needs to dry a little bit, but it just gives it that little bit of interest. I'm going to put a little bit kind of down there, but not too much because there's a lot over there as is. And then I think I just want to put that on there. I was going to add some black sparkles, not sparkles at all. Black, oh, what they called? Splatters. So I may do that. Let's just do this. There's our little robin, and funny enough, his little eyes look like he's looking up at where this label is, almost like he's looking at whatever it is I'm going to write there, like a date or a memory or whatever it is that he thinks I'm going to write there. Yeah, so I think I might do another line of stitching here. Okay guys, so I am going to do some slight spattering. I've covered up part of the label because I want to be able to write on it, but I've left a little bit, and I've covered up our little robin. So I'm hoping to just get small splatters. I'm going to sort of splatter slightly off the sorry, I'm focusing slightly off the piece, so that we can attempt it and see what it looks like first. Yeah, lots of small splatters all the way through to here. Okay, I think that's it. I'm just using some watered down black acrylic paint. I can't dry this because it'll make the splatters go a little bit, but I quite like that. It just adds a little bit more texture. And those will dry. So let me know what you think down below, guys. I'm going to go check out what everyone else has done. So this is my salvaged birds. I've just realised it says birds, and I've got a bird. Oh well, it's my prompt. I've done one bird. That's what I've done. So I'm now looking at it, wondering if I want like something down here, like a number or something. I do love these numbers. Yeah, so it said birds, and I've done bird, but it was from a pack of birds. Does that count? It does to me. It's so please don't write in the comments below, but it said birds and you've only done one bird. Yes, I have. But that's okay for me because it's from a pack of birds and I've just used the one of them. So yeah, I've just added that rub on down there. So there's my little robin made from some bits and bobs and pieces from yesterday, and it's more Christmassy themed. Roughly, because he's a robin. Does that count? Why it's Christmassy? And that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. But don't comment that there's only one bird, because yes, I am aware of that. And I may or may not do tomorrow's one. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now, guys.